Hello, and congratulations. You've made a wise decision. You've purchased an Aqua. This machine is going to make a big difference in your life, and I know you're eager to get started, so that's why I'm here, to show you how to set up this machine to use it to your best advantage. Now, the very first step, of course, is to open up the container. Just lift the lid and slide it back. Now, inside, you'll find two handles to either side of the Aqua machine. Please use these to pull out the carrying case, not the handle on top of the machine. We'll just pull it out like this and set it to the side. Now, just so you'll know, this unit is the foot bath. This is where you're going to put the water, the modules, and your feet, but we'll talk about that later. Right now, let's concentrate on this. The first thing I'd like to call your attention to is the instruction booklet. Even though you've watched this DVD, please take time to read this and be sure to follow the safety tips. Another thing, and you'll find this in the back of this book, is the warranty card. Fill this out and send it in within 30 days of your purchase of this machine, and you'll turn a 1-year warranty into a 5-year warranty. Let me say that again. Fill this out, send it in within 30 days of your purchase of the machine, and instead of a 1-year warranty, you will have a 5-year warranty. Now, let's put these aside for a second. They're foot bath liners, but we'll talk about these later. Inside the carrying case, you have the machine itself, 2 modules, and behind the power pack there's a compartment. Press the thumb latch, and inside the compartment is the power cord, two DC cables, some module strips. You won't need these right now, but we'll talk about them later. And some spare module rings. Now, let's take a look at the front of the power pack. On the front of the machine, you have your DC outlet jack, power indicator light, reset button, amp meter, timer, and power control. Now let's take a look at the back of the machine. Here you'll find the power cord outlet and 2 fuse holders. Now let's start the setup so you can start using your machine. The first thing to do is check the amp meter on the front of the machine to make sure that it's on 0. If it isn't on 0, just check your instruction manual. Next, we're going to take this end of the outlet and plug it in the back of the machine. Now, take this end, make sure that it's plugged in, and make sure it's on. Next, we're going to connect one of the DC cables and plug it into the module. We're going to take the end that has the red and black tips. The red tip goes on the flat bar that's close to the outside rim, just like that. And the black tip goes on the round center bar. Next, we're going to take the silver tip of the other end and plug it into the jack on the machine. Just like that. All right, your machine's plugged in, your module's plugged in. Now let's set up the foot bath. Take one of the liners from your package. And just hook it over the edge, like that. Now you're ready for the water. By the way, do yourself a favor, use warm water. It'll be a lot more comfortable. Make sure you fill the foot bath to the water level line on the inside of the tub. All right, next we're going to put the module into the little circle that says place module here. Et voila. Now you may need to add some salt, but don't do it yet. Not until you check the amp meter on the power pack. The next step is to turn the timer on. Be sure to turn it past 10 so that it'll continue to run. Now, we're going to turn one click on the power control to to the max setting. And we're going to check our amp meter. As you can see, it's slightly below 1. So we're going to add a little bit of salt to bring that up where we want it, the optimal setting, 2.5. All right, let's put a little salt in. And we'll stir it around a little bit, just like a good chef. And let's see what our reading says. And there we are, 2.5, right where we should be. Now, if the meter were showing a little bit under, we just add a little bit more salt, slowly. Now that you have the proper setting, just set the timer for 35 minutes for a full session and put your feet in the water. Okay, just remember while you're in your session, don't turn the machine off and turn it back on again. Don't remove your feet from the water and put them back in. Don't remove any water and don't add any water. Don't remove the module from the water and put it back in again. Don't exceed the recommended time of 35 minutes for the session, and don't alter the power of the machine during the session. Now just relax and enjoy yourself. All right, now you've had a very relaxing session. You've removed the module from the tub. You've poured the water out. We're going to dispose of the liner. Now, if the water got especially dirty, take the module after unhooking the cables and rinse it off. Try to get all of the loose particles off of the module. Then you're going to take the module after each use, and this is very important, put it in a container that's large enough that the module can be completely covered with the cleaning liquid. And this is the cleaning liquid, CLR. It's readily available at most stores. We're going to pour this into the container. Now don't worry, by the way, you can reuse this if you keep it covered so that it doesn't evaporate. Now it's completely covered, including the contacts. And we're going to allow that to sit for 20 minutes. And we're going to come back and see how things are going. All right, it's been 20 minutes. Let's see how it looks. All right, this one looks pretty good. Check all the areas, the surfaces of the rings, especially the white areas here. If it weren't clean, put it back in for another 20 minutes. And this is very important. Don't use any kind of tool to clean this, not even a toothbrush. Let the cleaning liquid do its job. And don't ever store this in the cleaning liquid. As soon as you're finished, rinse it thoroughly with water. Okay. Now, upon occasion, the second and the sixth ring in your module will need to be replaced. Refer to your owner's manual for the various stages of pitting. Now, to remove these two rings, you first remove the module strip by pulling down here and just bringing it out of its slot. Next, notice on these two rings, there are elongated slots to differentiate them from the other rings. Now, there's a little niche in there, and you just pull the ring up out of that niche and remove it. And the same with the bottom one. Pull it down out of that niche and remove it. Now, these rings are fine, so we're just going to put those back in, and it'd be the same procedure as if we were replacing them with different rings. Now we're going to replace these rings. In they go. Here's a tip. Keep the long slot pointed up when you're doing this. And there we go. And they are reseated just as they should be. Next, we're going to put the modular strip back in. You notice it's flat, and it goes into the flat hole in the top. Now, if this were a new strip, it would be advisable to give it a good pinch to make sure you have good contact with the second and the sixth rings. And then we pull down on the bottom while pushing in, and it snaps into place. As good as new, and ready for another session. Well, there you have it. That's the end of our quick setup guide. For more information, please refer to your owner's manual. And thank you again for your purchase.